Hey everyone, my name is Kevin Hill, and today in this video, I'm going to be presenting on the technique of speed ramping, which is also known as time remapping. And it's something I've learned about while I've been working with Premiere Pro, and I think it's a really useful technique to be able to smoothly use either fast or slow motion in your videos without it being choppy or feeling unnatural. So today I'm going to be showing you how to use this pretty simple technique. And what I actually began by doing was muting the audio track just because I didn't want to have to deal with the mismatched audio once I started slowing down the video clip. And after that, you'll see there's a small FX button on the video clip, and I right clicked that, went down to time remapping, and then you select speed. And you'll see at that point now you have a small white bar at the bottom of your video clip, and that's what you're going to be using to change the speed of that clip. And next I'm going to actually just increase the size of this video clip a little bit, because then you'll see this white line in the middle of our video clip, which is how we're going to drag up or down our speed of our clip. And what I'm actually going to do next is select the clip, and you'll see in the top left corner there is the effect controls panel. And I'm going to move my playhead in the video to around when I want the slow motion to start, which is going to be right about when the water starts pouring. And on that left side, you'll see under the effect controls there is a time remapping button. And once you click on that time remapping button, you'll see the settings there. And you can actually adjust the speed of the clip just by changing that percentage, but we're actually just going to do it by manually changing it using keyframes. So I hit this little diamond button over there on the left-hand side, and that is going to create a keyframe in my clip. And what I'm going to do next is move my playhead down to the point where I want the slow motion to end, which is going to be about when the water stops pouring. And once I have it at the right point, then I'm going to go over to the left side and add another keyframe. And basically what this is going to allow me to do with these two keyframes is adjust the speed of the clip between those two keyframes without messing with the speed outside of those keyframes. So it's a really great way to control the speed of certain portions of your clip. So what I'm going to do next is actually grab that line, that white line in the middle, and drag it down a little bit. And this is how we're going to adjust the speed of our clip. You'll see that when I move that down, it's actually going to move those playheads of the keyframes a little bit. And once you drag it down, I chose to drag it around to about 50%. You'll see that now we have slow motion in the middle of our clip. However, this is a little choppy, and it's not necessarily how you want it. We want to be able to have sort of a smooth transition into that slow motion, which is where our speed ramping is going to come in. So I'm just going to adjust the size of this a little bit so I can see these playheads. And you'll see at each point where I placed a keyframe, there's actually two sides to that playhead. And what you can do is you can actually drag one of the sides of the playhead out, and that'll sort of create this ramping effect into the slow motion. So you can use both sides of those playheads, sort of play with them a little bit and drag them around until you have a nice little ramping effect that goes down into the slow motion, which makes it a lot more smooth. And I'm going to do that on the other side of my clip as well to just try to match those as well as I can so it sort of goes in smoothly and goes out smoothly in a similar manner. And as you can see, now we have these much smoother transitions between the fast motion or the regular speed into the slow motion. It's definitely not as choppy, doesn't feel like it's just jumping right into the slow motion. It's definitely a much more smooth transition. And I want this effect to be a little more noticeable, so I'm actually going to drag the speed down a little more. And you'll notice that when you're adjusting the speed, the slower you make it, the longer the clip actually gets. So if you're having other clips right after this one in your sequence, you're going to want to be careful of that because you don't want to cut into the other clips. And once you play around with it for a little bit, you can see that after changing the speed to however you like it and making that ramp the appropriate length, you'll have a pretty smooth transition into your slow motion effect and right back out of your slow motion effect. And I think that's one of the best aspects of this effect is you can really play around with it a lot, and it has a lot of freedom of movement, and you can really choose the exact speed that you want your clip at and the way that you want those transitions. So that is the speed ramping or time remapping effect. And I'm actually just going to go ahead and unlink my audio because it's not going to be at the same speed as the clip anymore. So it's easier to just get rid of it. And yeah, that is time remapping or speed ramping. I really hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. I hope you learned something today.